Hey everyone, in this video we will take a look at the game's development progress in the last month. There are a lot of new cool features in the game. We are going to take a look at them, starting with the new forging mechanic. The food system has been overhauled and we're going to take a look at all the new types of food. There are a ton of new builds, foliage and animals. We will also take a look at a whole new realm. If you are new here, welcome! Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Using the metal caster, we can now make a cast for a brand new item, the iron axe. The cast must be hacked into shape. The hacking is done using a hammer and an anvil. The anvil is a new build that requires 8 iron ingots. After the cast is on the anvil, we hit it with the hammer. It transforms into different shapes until it reaches its final form. After we have the iron axe head, we use a medium handle to combine them into a final iron axe. The process of forging the iron pickaxe is essentially the same. The only difference is the shape of the head. Forging the iron swords follows the same procedure as the previous iron tools. It is more narrow in shape. Then we forge the iron hammer. The process is the same. Forging the iron chisel is even simpler. It only needs to be cast and then hammered on the anvil. Using the iron hammer and chisel, we can now craft chiseled stone. It requires only one stone to get started. After we select the craft from the crafting bench, we can start chiseling the stone. Each excess part falls away after being hit with the chisel. At the end of the craft, we have a new item, the chiseled stone. It can be used for brand new types of builds, starting from the chiseled stone floor. We have a great foundation for a house. The chiseled stone wall will keep us protected from hostile encounters. Then we have the stairs to make more flats for our house. And finally, there's a pillar for decoration. Next, we have new hides for all current animals. In future updates, they will be tanned and used for armor pieces or builds. Their primary use, however, is for new rugs. There are a couple of new basic builds. The Roundpole Fence helps you keep unwanted guests far. The stake wall achieves that even better. The bench and table are an essential part of every living room. There's a new tree in town, the Ebony Tree. It is significantly bigger than other trees in the realm. That makes it harder to chop down, but it also drops a new item, tar. We can use tar to make better roofs than the simpler wooden ones. Those new roofs are called Shingle Roofs and come in two variations. The first one is horizontal and the second one is diagonal. Each requires one tar. To solidify our house, we can use the new iron gate. It will set us back 4 iron ingots, but it sure is a good upgrade. You are far from alone in the dwarf realm. There are dwarfs that reside in houses just like this one. You can interact with them for new quests and trades. There are new feats on the list. The final one requires going through the end portal. We will go there after we take a look at the new food system. We have some new types of food. Back in the human realm, there are some new vegetables. The carrot is an essential part of every good soup. Onions can be found in the conifer forest. Mushrooms are a vital ingredient in some soups. We also have a new animal, is the chicken. It occasionally lays eggs. They will be used to make an omelette in the future. Each animal now has its own meat type. Each type of meat can be cooked in the cooking station. To make even better food, we can use the new Cauldron build. Combined with a campfire, it can cook some tasty soups and stews. Let's now look at some recipes. The carrot soup is the easiest one to make. It needs 3 carrots and 1 mushroom. After we cook it, we can eat it by grabbing a bowl. Next we have the onion soup. It requires only 3 onions, but they are harder to come by. Each type of animal meat can be used in a stew. The hunger and thirst systems have been completely overhauled. Each food that I've shown you so far gives you a bonus amount of health and stamina. Usually the vegetables give you bonus stamina as they are carbs, and cooked meat gives you bonus health because it contains high protein. Knowing this, you can get smart by combining different foods based on your activity. Each food you consume has a duration. For example, the apple has a 15-minute duration. After the half-life of the food has passed, the bonus health and stamina will slowly decrease. The half-life of the apple is by the 7th minute. By this point, you can consume another food. This is a vital part of the system, since you can consume only 3 different types of food. Now it's time to show you the new Elf Realm. We arrive here next to the spawn portal. There are 2 new types of trees here. The first one is the maple tree. It's the primary source of wood in the realm. Then we have the Seaweed Tree, which is a lot bigger than the maple tree. It has a weird fruit that we'll take a look at later. There are some boulders here as well. They can be mined for stone. Currently, there are 2 new mobs. The first one is the Iguana Men. He is quite hostile. The Iguana Men move in groups, which makes them a lot harder to kill. Next, we have the Rhino. It's neutral in behavior, which makes it a perfect candidate for a farm. In the future, we will be able to breed them and maybe even ride them. Let's now look at the new cooking recipes, and after that, we'll forge some new weapons. The new weird fruit I mentioned is the Kamba. There is also one more new fruit, the Rhino berry. We will now use them to cook some new tasty stews. We can make a Rhino Stew by mixing together a rhino meat, a Kamba and a Rhino berry. It has a very different texture to it. Then we can have the realm's specialty, the Kambastique. We will need 3 Kambas and 1 Rhino berry. After it's cooked, we can eat it. Now let's take a look at the new ore. At the top of this stone monolith, we can find a silver ore vein. After we mine it, we can acquire a silver ore. After smelting it to a silver ingot, we can use it to make a silver shield and sword. The ingot goes through the metal caster and it can be hammered into shape on the anvil. Making the silver sword also requires a small handle. This is all for this devlog. If you enjoyed the video, please look at our previous devlogs and updates. The game is on Steam and you can wishlist it there. You are welcome to join our active Discord community. If you want to play the game as soon as possible, we have a Patreon page. If you become a supporter, you will be able to play the game when the closed beta releases. See you in the next video.